If you're like me, you're a coach, you run free trainings, but you might struggle with follow up. You might not be able to get people once they register into your free training. This video is going to show you from start to finish how to automate the process, right from having a form that people fill out to creating the workflows and the reminder emails and texts if you've got them on how to get maximum turn up to your event, because there's nothing worse than running an event and people don't show up, right? And so if you can minimize that, it really helps you to get bums on seats, which is why we do masterclasses or free trainings. And so if you are interested in more helpful Go High Level tips, click the subscribe button. I put them out fortnightly, weekly, sometimes twice a week, and let's get into it. Okay, I'm in my GoHighLevel sub account, and if you use GoHighLevel and you pay $97 a month and you want to minimize your subscriptions, in the link below, I've actually got a special where you can get GoHighLevel for $63 a month. The only thing is it'll be white labeled to my CRM, exactly the same GoHighLevel structure. You're just using my domain as the base and you're paying less money. So if you're interested in that, there's a 7-day trial below. Very easy to migrate all your stuff across. Highly recommend. Okay, let's get into it. First thing you want to do is I always have 2 windows open so that I can change the templates and stuff in the background. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go, if you're not in your sub account, we want to switch to your sub account if you're an agency. So into your sub account, and we want to go to the automation tab here at the bottom. And we're going to create a new workflow. So up to the create workflow, and we want to start from scratch. If you're new to automations, the first thing you want to know is that the trigger here creates a new workflow. The trigger basically is an action that happens which causes all the other actions, right? And so step 1, we want to name the workflow or it gets very confusing. So we want to call this masterclass reminder or free training or whatever you call your thing. So that's going to be step number 1. Step number 2 is we want to add a trigger. Now this trigger is going to be a form. And if you haven't created a form yet, very simple, go to mark. This is why I like to have 2 tabs open. So we can go to the new tab and we can go to marketing, or actually we'll go to sites and we'll go to forms builder. Now the other great thing is if you are signed up to the Russell Gilbert CRM, I actually include all these as a templates and you've just got to switch them on. Now let's just say you haven't got a form. We'll add a form. We'll start from scratch. It's very easy. We want it to just be super basic because we just want to capture the key details. And once again, we'll name this free. Let's go back. Free training rego. Okay, great. Now you can keep this as simple and as basic as you want. If you want to make it a bit fancier, use a theme. And now it looks a bit fancier. Basically, we want to collect their first name, last name, phone number, and email. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. So to do that, choose whichever form you like the look of. Let's say we like this one. Pretty simple, all right? And the submit button. And then you want to know what happens advanced. We want to make these tabs first name required, last name required. Great. And we also want to know what happens on submission. So we go to the submission. Oops. We go to settings, sorry. And you can do thank you for taking the time to complete this form. You will receive an email with all the training details. Right, that's one thing you can do. If you want to get a bit fancier, you can get it to go to a URL like a landing page or that sort of stuff, but let's just keep it simple for today. So save. Okay, so that's called free training rego, that form. All right, so now the new trigger is going to be a form. And so when someone submits the form, and we're going to add the filter and say which form it is. The form is, and it's going to be free training rego. And then we save that trigger. Okay, so now when anyone fills out that form, right, it's going to create some actions. The first action we want to create is that it we want it to create a contact. In the thing, we want it to have their full name, and we choose contact full name. Right. We want to add another field, so it adds their email, and the tag for that is going to be contact email. I'm going to move myself over here. And then we want to also add another field, which is their phone number. And we want to add contact phone number. Save that action. So that means as soon as someone fills out the form, it creates a contact and that gets saved into your CRM. Because one of the reasons we run a training is to collect people's emails. All right. Second step now is we want to do an event start date. And this is really important because, and we choose specific date and time, that then allows us to time the automations. And the reason we want to time the automations is because we can do reminders a week before, a day before, an hour before, 10 minutes before, right? And so we want to select the date. Let's say I'm running a training. I'm just going to say it's the 31st of July at 7 p.m. Save. All right, so it creates a contact, creates a start date. And then here, if you want to, you can add things like tags. So you can tag people to say that they've come to your free training, so that if you want to segment your emails and stuff later, you can do that. And the next step is now we want to create a pipeline for the training. The reason we want to create a pipeline for the training is because we can see where people are on the pipeline. So for example, I always have registered, bring a friend, email a week before, email a day before, an hour before, 5 minutes before, show up, no show, da-da-da-da-da, right? And so you can see I'm in the process, I'm running a training tonight. These are all the people that have registered here, which is amazing. It shows me that the automation's working. Because what I want it to do is I want it to create a card on the pipeline when they register, then move them automatically across a week before when it sends the email, move them across a day before when it sends the email, etc. Okay, it's just a way for me to keep track. So the next action I want to do is create or update opportunity. Okay, and so first I want to select the pipeline. So it is free training, and then I can choose which stage I want it to go to in here. So let's say we want it to go to registered. Now the opportunity name, we want it to be not the username, we want it to be the contact full name, and the opportunity source isn't as big a deal. We can leave that blank, but you can put masterclass, etc. So we'll save action. And the next thing we want it to do when they register is we want it to create an email. Great. And so we put in our own name here. We put in, I don't care if you get my email from this. And let's say you're in, here's what to expect is the subject. Now there's two ways you can do this. You can just type out an email here, or you can choose a template. Now if you want to choose a template to do that, you create a template, you go to the marketing, emails, templates, right? And you can create a new template, blank template here, and we're going to choose, I like drag and drop. It's very easy. Okay, amazing. And so what I like to do is I put an image here at the top. I like to choose the banner that has the training, and then you put in your email here and you just save the template, right? And so then you save it. Obviously give it a name, call it registration template. Okay, great. So I'm just going to choose a template I've already done before, and it's going to be called, so this is why it's important to have all of them named. So bring a friend is the one I'm going to send. And so here's an example of what the email will look like. Say hi, contact first name, thanks for registering, da 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 da. Here's the details of the training. Join my Telegram group. Bring a friend and add the event to your calendar. Just save that. And then I want to save that action. So now it's creating an email. So that's step one, right? That's the first automation that happens when somebody fills in that form. The next thing we want to do is we want to add a wait time. And we want the time delay to be for the event, which we created just before the event start time. And we want it to be 7 days before the event. And then it says, if the timing of the wait step is already in the past, how should they proceed? We want to skip the communications and wait till the next event start day. So you don't want someone to get the email that says 7-day reminder if they've registered the day of the training, right? So basically it just says it's going to skip them through to the next one. So we wait, and then we can send another email. That'll be from me again. And the thing will be, let's just, of your training in 7 days, right? Then we can choose a template, and once again we create that like we did with the other one. I just want to show you how to quickly do that. Week before reminder, there's the template. You can go through and check and edit that. We want to save action. If you've got a phone number here, you can send an SMS. You can do that as well, and you just type the message in here, click save action, but I'm just going to skip that step for the moment. Then you can do another wait, and we want to wait till the event, and we want to wait till 1 day before. Save, and let's send another email. Russell info, and we might say of your free training tomorrow, and then we choose the template that we've already created. And look, if you sign up to my CRM, you get all these templates and stuff. Day before, great. And we save. And then we want to do another weight. And we want to do event. And we want to do no days, but 1 hour before. And we want to send another email. I think you get the gist of how this works now. You send the email again, save the action. Then we, I'm just going to cancel that, confirm. And then we want to do 15 minutes before as well, saying we're going live now with the link and all that sort of stuff. Now, that's all ready to go. You want to make sure you click publish so that when someone fills out the form, that triggers all the stuff, and then you click save. Now, if you want to check if the automation's actually working, what you can do is you can fill in that form yourself and see if it's working, use a different email, and then check the execution logs, and that will show you if the steps are done. So I'll give you an example of what an execution log will look like for my training that you saw before. I've obviously added some different things because I've got Facebook lead forms as well as forms. We can look at the execution log and it shows you what step we're up to in the settings, right? Which is cool. And so you can make sure it's working that way. And so that's one of the things we do. The next step is then you can automate so one of the other things I do then is everybody finishes the training at this 5 minutes before, right? Then I can check who shows up and I can create a separate automation for when they show up but don't book a call or don't buy or whatever it is. And you can do automation for that. You can do, if they don't show up, an automation for that, and you can put them there if they book a call. So I'll just quickly show you the automation, an example of how that happens. And so let's say free training, no show. So the automation for this one is the trigger is the pipeline stage changes. And so it's in that pipeline free training, and the pipeline stage is no show. So when that happens, it triggers an email which says, we missed you. And here is the email, which is created by one of those templates. And so it gives you an opportunity to catch people you miss and give them the opportunity to book a free session or watch a video with your pitch in it or whatever you'd like to do there. I don't want to save that. And then it's the same as if they do show up but don't book a call or don't buy, you can have an automation for that, which is amazing. And so if you're interested in more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button. Would love to help you with that. If you actually just want to get access to all these templates and a community that has a heap of GoHighLevel resources in it, where you can ask questions, where you can get customized help and that sort of stuff, as well as cheap access to GoHighLevel, I've got a sale at the moment where you can get a sub account for $63 per month for life, which is 30% off for life. So in the context of your business, that's a big saving. Or if you're interested in creating your own GoHighLevel agency, I've got the link in there at the bottom as well, so you can start that. Go kill it. Good luck and keep shining.